Every experience, every circumstance, every person you encounter is but a reflection of your inner state. And it is through the power of your imagination that you shape this world. When I say shut up when you are happy, I'm not speaking of busy islands, but rather of profound inner stillness. It is the quieting of that incessant voice within you that constantly chatters about your current circumstances, your worries and your doubts. This inner voice, my dear friends, is the very thing that keeps you tethered to your present reality, preventing you from stepping in magnitude future you desire. Consider for a moment, have you ever achieved a goal, experienced a moment of pure joy, only to have that feeling quickly dissipated by thoughts of what's next, or this won't last? This, my friends, is the chatter I'm referring to. It is the noise that drowns out the whispers of your divine imagination. When you learn to shut up in these moments of happiness, you are not merely enjoying a fleeting emotion. You are, in fact, entering a state of consciousness that is in perfect alignment with your desires. This state of being is the very foundation upon which your future experiences will be built. Imagine, if you will, that you have just received wonderful news. Perhaps you've been offered your dream job, or you've just met the love of your life. In that moment of pure elation, your entire being is vibrating at a frequency of joy and fulfillment. This is the precise moment when you must learn to shut up. But what does it mean to shut up in this context? It means to fully inhabit that feeling of joy, to marinate in it, to let it permeate every fiber of your being without allowing to race ahead to potential problems or doubts. It means to silence the voice that says yes, but, and instead to simply be in that perfect state of happiness. You see, my dear friends, this state of pure, unadulterated happiness is your natural state. It is the state from which all of your desires spring forth. When you can learn to dwell in this state, to shut up and simply be happy, you are aligning yourself with the very source of creation. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I be happy when my current circumstances are less than ideal? And to this I say, your circumstances do not dictate your state of being. It is your state of being that dictates your circumstances. Remember, the world you see around you is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. If you persist in a state of happiness, regardless of your current circumstances, those circumstances must change to reflect your inner reality. This is the law of consciousness, as immutable as the law of gravity. Let me share with you a simple technique to practice this principle. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Perhaps it's a conversation with a friend where you're sharing your joy about your new circumstances. Feel the happiness, the excitement, the gratitude that would accompany this scene. Now, here's the crucial part. As you open your eyes and return to your current reality, maintain that feeling of joy and fulfillment. Do not allow your mind to immediately begin listing all the reasons why this imagined scene cannot be true. This is what it means to shut up when you are happy. You see, my friends, your imagination is the very gateway to the realm of infinite possibilities. When you imagine a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire, you are not merely daydreaming or fantasizing. You are, in fact, experiencing a reality that already exists in potential form. The power of your consciousness is such that it can collapse these infinite potential into your physical reality. But this can only happen when you learn to shut up and maintain that state of joy and fulfillment, even in the face of contrary evidence in your physical world. Consider the biblical phrase, "Be still and know that I am God." This stillness, this shutting up, is not a passive state of inaction. It is rather a profound acknowledgement of the creative power within you. It is a recognition that the I am within you is the very source of all creation. When you shut up and maintain your state of happiness, you are declaring to the universe, I am that which I desire to be. And the universe, which is nothing more than an outpicturing of your consciousness, has no choice but to conform to this declaration. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, how long must I maintain this state? How long must I shut up before I see results in my physical reality? And to this I say, time is a construct of the human mind. In the realm of consciousness where all creation takes place, there is no time. Your job is not to worry about when or how your desire will manifest. Your job is simply to maintain the state of the wish fulfilled, to shut up when you are happy, to dwell in that state of joy and fulfillment, knowing with absolute certainty that what you have imagined must come to pass. Remember, my dear friends, that creation is finished. All possible states already exist. Your job is not to create your desire, but to simply step into the state where your desire is already fulfilled. And you do this by shutting up when you are happy, by maintaining that state of joy and fulfillment, regardless of what your physical senses may be telling you. Let me give you an example to illustrate this principle. Imagine a man who desires financial abundance. He may look at his current bank balance and feel despair. But if he understands the principle we're discussing today, he will shut up in that moment of despair. Instead, he will imagine a scene that implies his financial abundance. Perhaps he imagines looking at his bank statement and seeing a balance that far exceeds his current reality. He feels the joy, the relief, the excitement that comes with this newfound abundance. And here's the crucial part. As he opens his eyes and returns to his current reality, he maintains that feeling of abundance. He shuts up when he's happy. He doesn't allow his mind to immediately begin listing all the reasons why this financial abundance is impossible. He doesn't just planning how he'll make it happen. He simply dwells in the state of the wish fulfilled, knowing that his outer world must conform to his inner state. This, my friends, is the true meaning of faith. It is not a blind belief in something outside of yourself. It is an absolute knowing that what you have imagined must come to pass because you have aligned yourself with the creative power of the universe. Now let's delve deeper into the practical application of this principle. How do you maintain this state of happiness, this inner quietude in the face of a world that seems to constantly challenge your desired state? The key lies in understanding that your reactions to external events are entirely within your control. When circumstances arise that seem to contradict your desired state, you have a choice. You can allow these circumstances to pull you out of your state of happiness, or you can choose to shut up and maintain your enjoy. This doesn't mean ignoring your current reality or living in denial. It means understanding that your current reality is nothing more than a shadow of past thoughts and beliefs. By maintaining your state of happiness, you are casting a new shadow, creating a new reality that must conform to your inner state. Consider the story of Job in the Bible. Despite losing everything, Job maintained his faith. He shut up in the face of adversity, refusing to let his circumstances dictate his inner state. And in the end, his reality conformed to his unwavering faith. You, my dear friends, are faced with this same choice every moment of every day. Will you allow the circumstances of your life to dictate your inner state? Or will you choose to shut up when you're happy, to maintain that state of joy and fulfillment, regardless of what your senses are telling you? Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no power to create or to destroy. It is nothing more than a reflection of your inner state. When you truly understand this, you will see that there is nothing to fear in your external reality. It is clay in your hands, ready to be molded by the power of your consciousness. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, isn't this just positive and thinking? Isn't this just ignoring reality? And to this I say, this is far more than positive thinking. This is about understanding the fundamental nature of reality itself. You see, what you call reality is nothing more than a consensual hallucination. It is a shared dream that we all participate in. But just as you can change the course of a dream by becoming aware that you're dreaming, you can change the course of your life by becoming aware of your true nature as the dreamer of your reality. When you shut up when you're happy, when you maintain that state of joy and fulfillment, regardless of your circumstances, you are not ignoring reality. You are creating a new reality. You are exercising your divine right as a co-creator of the universe. Let me share with you another technique to help you practice this principle. Throughout your day, pause periodically and ask yourself, how would I feel if my desire were already fulfilled? Then, allow yourself to fully experience that feeling. Shut up and dwell in that state of happiness even if only for a few moments. As you practice this, you'll find that it becomes easier to maintain this state for longer periods. You'll find yourself naturally shutting up when you're happy, dwelling in that state of fulfillment more and more often. And as you do this, you'll begin to notice changes in your outer world. At first, these changes may be small. Perhaps you'll notice more synchronicities in your life, more lucky coincidences. But as you persist in your new state, these changes will become more profound. You see, my friends, the universe has no choice but to conform to your inner state. When you consistently maintain a state of joy and fulfillment, your outer world must rearrange itself to match this inner reality. This is the law of consciousness, and it is absolute. Now, let's address another question that may be arising in your minds. Neville, you may be thinking, what about out-action? Don't we need to take action to achieve our desires? And to this I say, inspired action will naturally flow from your new state of being. When you shut up, when you're happy, when you dwell in the state of the wish fulfilled, you align yourself with the creative power of the universe. From this aligned state, you will naturally be inspired to take actions that support the manifestation of your desire. But here's the crucial difference. These actions will not come from a place of lack or need. They will not be driven by fear or desperation. Instead, they will flow naturally and effortlessly from your state of joy and fulfillment. You see, when you truly embody the state of the wish fulfilled, when you shut up and maintain that inner happiness regardless of your circumstances, you begin to see opportunities that were always there but were previously invisible to you. It's as if you're tuning into a different frequency. Just as a radio can only pick up the stations it's tuned to, your consciousness can only perceive the opportunities that align with your inner state. When you maintain a state of joy and fulfillment, you naturally tune into the frequency of abundance and opportunity. Let me give you another example to illustrate this principle. Imagine a woman who desires a loving relationship. She may look at her current circumstances and feel lonely, but if she understands the principle that we're discussing today, she will shut up in that moment of loneliness. Instead, she will imagine a scene that implies she is in a loving relationship. Perhaps she imagines introducing her partner to her friends, feeling the joy and contentment of being in a loving partnership. And here's the crucial part. As she opens her eyes and returns to her current reality, she maintains that feeling of being loved and in a relationship. She shuts up when she's happy. She doesn't allow her mind to immediately begin listing all the reasons why the relationship is impossible. She doesn't start planning how she'll meet someone. She simply dwells in the state of the wish fulfilled, knowing that her outer world must conform to her inner state. Now, from this state of being in a loving relationship, she may be inspired to join a new club or attend a social event. But she doesn't do this out of desperation to meet someone. She does it because it aligns with a new state of being. And because she's operating from this state of fulfillment, she naturally attracts experiences that match this state. This, my dear friends, is the true power of shutting up when you're happy. It's not about forcing yourself to feel positive emotions when you're feeling down. It's about recognizing those moments of genuine happiness, those glimpses of your desired state, and learning to dwell in them. It's about understanding that these moments of happiness are not just fleeting emotions, but glimpses of your true nature. They are windows into the reality that already exists for you in potential form. Your job is simply to step into that reality by maintaining that state of happiness. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, what about the suffering in the world? Isn't it selfish to focus on my own happiness when there's so much pain around me? And to this I say, your joy is not separate from the joy of the world. In fact, by maintaining your state of happiness, you are contributing to the elevation of consciousness for all of humanity. You see, we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. When you elevate your own state, you are elevating the state of the inhuman collective. Your joy ripples out into the world, affecting everyone and everything around you in ways you may not even be aware of. Moreover, when you operate from a state of joy and fulfillment, you are in a much better position to help others. Think about it. Who is better equipped to lift others up, someone who is mired in misery and lack, or someone who is radiating joy and abundance? By shutting up when you're happy, by maintaining that state of joy and fulfillment, you become a beaconlet of light in the world. You inspire others not through your words, but through your very being. You demonstrate the possibility of living from a state of joy regardless of circumstances. Let's delve even deeper on this concept. When I say shut up when you're happy, I'm not suggesting that you should never express your joy or share your good fortune with others. Rather, I'm urging you to shut up the doubting voice within, the voice that seeks to diminish your joy or question its validity. You see, many of us have been conditioned to believe that we don't deserve happiness, that it's somehow wrong or selfish to feel joyful when others are suffering. But this belief is based on a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of reality. Joy is your natural state. It is the state from which all creation springs forth. When you allow yourself to fully experience and dwell in this state, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You are fulfilling your divine purpose as a co-creator of reality. Now let's address another aspect of this principle. Some of you may be wondering, but Neville, what about gratitude? Aren't we supposed to express gratitude for good things in our lives? And to this I say a gratitude God of thanking an external force for the good in your life. It is about recognizing that you are the source of all that you experience. When you shut up when you're happy, when you dwell in the state of the wish fulfilled, without questioning or doubting, or expressing the highest form of gratitude, you are acknowledging your oneness with the creative power of the universe. You are recognizing that the good in your life is not something given to you by an external force, but a manifestation of your own divine nature. This understanding transforms the way you approach gratitude. Instead of saying thank you for this blessing, you simply dwell in the state of having that blessing, knowing that it is a natural expression of your true self. This is shutting up when you're happy in its purest form. Let me share with you another technique to help you practice this principle. Throughout your day, whenever you experience a moment of joy or satisfaction, no matter how small, pause and fully inhabit that feeling. Don't immediately rush to the next thing. Don't allow your mind to start planning or worrying. Simply be in that state of happiness. As you practice this, you'll find that these moments of joy become more frequent and more prolonged. You'll begin to notice the abundance of happiness that already exists in your life. And as you dwell in these states of happiness, you'll find that your external reality begins to shift to match your inner state. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, what about when bad things happen? How can I shut up and be happy when I'm facing real challenges? And to this I say, remember that what you perceive as bad is a judgment based on your current perspective. Every experience, every circumstance in your life is an opportunity to practice this principle. When faced with a challenging situation, instead of reacting with fear or anger, pause and ask yourself, how do I feel if this situation were already resolved in the best possible way? Then shut up and dwell in that feeling of relief and satisfaction. You see, by doing this, you are not denying the current circumstances. You are simply choosing to align yourself with the solution rather than the problem. You are shutting up the voice of fear and doubt and instead dwelling in the state of the wish fulfilled. This doesn't mean that you ignore the situation or fail to take appropriate action. It means that you take action from a state of confidence and assurance, knowing that the solution already exists. This is the power of shutting up when you're happy, even in the face of apparent adversity. Let's explore this concept further. When you shut up, when you're happy, you are essentially entering a state of allowing. You are allowing your desires to manifest without resistance. You are aligning yourself with the natural flow of creation. Think of it like this: the universe is constantly offering you everything you'd ever. It's like a cosmic buffet, laden with all the experiences, relationships, and abundance you could ever want. But if you're constantly chattering about what you lack, about your worries and doubts, you're effectively pushing away from this buffet. When you shut up, when you're happy, you're pulling up a chair to this cosmic buffet. You're saying, yes, I'll have that, and that too. You're allowing the abundance of the universe to flow into your life without resistance. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, doesn't this mean we should suppress our negative emotions? Isn't it important to acknowledge and process our feelings? And to this I say, acknowledging your emotions is important, but dwelling in negative states is not necessary for processing them. You see, every emotion is simply feedback. It's information about your current alignment with your desires. When you feel negative emotions, it's an indication that you're focusing on what you don't want rather than what you do want. The solution is not to dwell in these negative states, but to shift your focus back to what you desire. This is where the practice of shutting up when you're happy becomes so powerful. By consciously choosing to dwell in positive states, even for short periods, you're training yourself to align with what you want. You're building new neural pathways that make it easier and easier to maintain these positive states. Let me give you another example to illustrate this principle. Imagine a man who desires better health. He may look at his current physical condition and feel discouraged. But if he understands the principle we're discussing today, he will shut up in that moment of discouragement. Instead, he will imagine a scene that implies his perfect health. Perhaps he imagines effortlessly running a marathon, feeling the strength and vitality in his body. And here's the crucial part. As he opens his eyes and returns to his current reality, he maintains that feeling of health and vitality. He shuts up when he's happy. He doesn't allow his mind to immediately begin listing all the reasons why level of health is impossible. He doesn't start worrying about his current symptoms or planning a rigorous health regimen. He simply dwells in the state of perfect health, knowing that his outer world must conform to his inner state. Now, from this state of perfect health, he may be inspired to make different food choices or to engage in physical activities. But he doesn't do this out of fear or desperation. He does it because it aligns with his new state of being. And because he's operating from this state of health and vitality, he naturally attracts experiences that match this state. This, my dear friends, is the transformative power of shutting up when you're happy. It's about recognizing that your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner state. By maintaining a state of joy and fulfillment, you are literally reshaping your reality. Now, let's address another important aspect of this principle. Some of you may be wondering, but Neville, how do I maintain this state of happiness when I'm surrounded by negativity? How do I shut up and stay happy when others are constantly complaining or spreading fear? And to this, I say, remember that you are the operant power in your reality. The thoughts and emotions of others have no power over you unless you give them that power. When you shut up when you're happy, you are declaring your independence from the collective consciousness of lack and limitation. This doesn't mean you become insensitive to the struggles of others. It means you maintain your state of joy and fulfillment as a gift to those around you. You become a living example of the possibility of happiness regardless of circumstances. Think of it like this. If you were in a dark room with a group of people, would it be more helpful to join them in complaining about the darkness or to light a candle? When you shut up when you're happy, you are lighting that candle. You are illuminating the possibility of joy for everyone around you. Let's delve even deeper into this concept. When you shut up when you're happy, you are essentially entering a state of faith. Not faith in an external power, but faith in the creative power of your own consciousness. You see, faith not about believing in something despite evidence to the contrary. True faith is about knowing that what you desire must come to pass, because you have aligned yourself with the creative power of the universe. When you shut up when you're happy, when you maintain that state of joy and fulfillment regardless of your current circumstances, you are exercising this type of faith. You are declaring to the universe, I know that what I desire is already mine, in the realm of infinite possibilities, and I choose to dwell in that reality now. This type of faith is unshakable because it's not based on external circumstances. It's based on your understanding of the fundamental nature of reality. It's based on your recognition of your true identity as the operant power in your world. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, isn't this just magical thinking? How can simply feeling happy change my external reality? And to this I say what you call magical thinking is simply a recognition of the true nature of consciousness. You see, consciousness is the only reality. What you perceive as your external world is nothing more than a projection of your consciousness. When you change your inner state, you are literally changing the projection. This is not magic. This is the fundamental law of creation. Let me give you one final example to illustrate this principle. Imagine a woman who desires to advance in her career. She may look at her current job situation and feel stuck. But if she understands the principle we're discussing today, she will shut up in that moment of frustration. Instead, she will imagine a scene that implies her career advancement. Perhaps she imagines receiving congratulations from her colleagues on her new position. And here's the crucial part. As she opens her eyes and returns to her current reality, she maintains that feeling of success and accomplishment. She shuts up when she's happy. She doesn't allow her mind to immediately begin listing all the reasons why this career advancement is impossible. She doesn't start stressing about how to make it happen. She simply dwells in the state of career success, knowing that her outer world must conform to her inner state. Now, from this state of career success, she may be inspired to take on new projects or to network with certain individuals. But she doesn't do this out of desperation or fear of missing out. She does it because it aligns with her new state of being. And because she's operating from this state of success, she naturally attracts opportunities that match the state. This, my dear friend, is the true power of shutting up when you're happy. It's about recognizing those moments of alignment with your desires, those glimpses of your ideal state, and learning to dwell in them. It's about understanding that these moments of happiness are not just fleeting emotions, but windows into the reality that already exists for you in potential form. Your job is simply to step into that reality by maintaining that state of happiness, by shutting up the doubting voice, the voice of lack and limitation, and instead dwelling in the state of the wish fulfilled. As we come to the close of our discussion, I want to leave you with this final thought. The power to shape your reality lies within you. It always has, and it always will. When you shut up, when you're happy, when you learn to dwell in the state of the wish fulfilled, you are claiming this power. You are declaring to the universe, I am that which I desire to be. And the universe, which is nothing more than an outpicturing of your consciousness, has no choice but to conform to this declaration. So, my dear friends, I urge you, shut up when you're happy. Dwell in that state of joy and fulfillment. Maintain it regardless of what your senses may be telling you. For in doing so, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You are stepping into your true identity as the author of your reality. Remember, creation is finished. All possible states already exist. Your job is not to create your desire, but to simply step into the state where your desire is already fulfilled. And you do this by shutting up when you're happy, by maintaining that state of joy and fulfillment, regardless of what your physical senses may be telling you. Go forth, my friends, and practice this principle. Shut up when you're happy. Dwell in the state of the wish fulfilled, and watch as your world transforms to match your inner reality. For you are the operant power, the author of your life story. Write it well, with joy and with the unwavering faith that comes from understanding your true nature as a divine creator.